Welcome to the IRONMAN Insider Podcast, brought to you by Maurten. I'm your host, Matt Lieto, and today we've got one of the most experienced and versatile athletes in the sport joining us today, someone who's competed at the very highest level across multiple eras of triathlon. She's a three-time Olympian and spent over a decade racing at the sharp end of short course triathlon and has transitioned into Ironman racing, where she's quickly become a serious contender. And in 2025 alone, she put together an amazing season, including an incredible, I think, debut at the IRONMAN World Championships with the top 5 and a win at Ironman Cozumel and a third place finish in the Ironman Pro Series in just her full first year of racing Ironman. Joining us today, Austrian standout, Lisa Perterer.
Hi, I'm doing good. Yes, thanks for having me here. I'm right now in Arizona, Tucson, and I enjoy my training here.
Yeah, have you been to Tucson before for training?
No, it's my first time. My boyfriend is here, so I joined his squad, and we have a very good time here, and the weather is perfect. Hotter than I expected.
Yeah, it's you picked a winter to go to Tucson. It's one of the hottest winter springs that they've had down there in a while.
I was talking with some people and they say at this time last year it was 10 degrees cooler. So I think it's over the average. So no, but I'm very happy because at home it's snowing and it's cold. So it's, I think, a good preparation for my next race. Texas Ironman, yeah.
Yeah, no, it's great. I mean, and I used to go down there at times in the winter to get away from cold. And Mount Lemmon. Have you been doing a bunch of riding up Mount Lemmon?
No, actually, yesterday I had my longest ride, so I decided to do it up Mount Lemmon, and I really enjoy it. I would prefer it with the road bike, to be honest, but it was even enjoyable on my TT bike.
Yeah, no, it's pretty incredible over there. So first year in Ironman, did you think you would have had the season that you had when you first started Ironman racing in end of 2024, you did Cozumel, right?
Yeah. 2024 Ironman Cozumel was a very last minute decision for me because I always wanted to do Ironman Austria as my first Ironman because it's right in front of my house. So, but as they announced, there won't be a pro field for women. So I say, okay, let's do in 2024. So I prepared 3 weeks for the Ironman. And, my goal was also to qualify for Kona. And just finished second. And I had a great day with any expectations. And after that race, I say, okay, I want to do more of that. But I didn't know that I'm gonna do 4 Ironmans in 2025. It was much more than I was supposed to do.
Yeah, no, that's wild. And I actually looked at the dates. Looking at the dates, you actually did 5 Ironman races within a calendar year, 365 days. There's not a lot of people that start their Ironman career out with 5 within a year.
Yeah, I don't know. This just happened. In this Texas Ironman, I didn't know that. I'm gonna do that. So I say, okay. Then I had a good race there, and I say I can do maybe the Ironman Pro Series. But when I say this, I didn't really realize I have to do 3 Ironmans for that. So then it was Lake Placid, then the World Champs, and then I went after Kona to Cozumel, and I enjoyed my time there. And I was like, I'm there already, so why not do a 4th Ironman? And I need to admit I was very, very tired after that.
I imagine so. So I want to go back a little bit and want to talk more in detail about that season. But I think a lot of people, know that you came from short course racing background, but not necessarily to what extent. I mean, did you? Mm-hmm. You raced your first Olympics when you were 20? Is that right?
Yeah, exactly. I made my qualifying with 19 and I only started triathlon with 17. So it went very fast from like just didn't know really what to do. I had like a little swim background, but I had to stop because I had an accident. So I just did swimming for fun, but I always loved running. And my mom just could buy me a bike, so I had to wait until I get my first road bike. And yeah, from that on, I was immediately after my first triathlon part of the national federation. And
Wow.
my first Olympic World Cup, I finished on the podium. I was in Edmonton with 19. And yeah, from that on, my coach that time, he said, let's try the Olympics. And I was like, what? You know, like it's in 1 year. So I only had 1 year to qualify. And I was almost that tired than this year because I was just racing all over the world for a year. And actually, when the Olympic happens, I was so happy to made it, but I was very, very exhausted going there. But it was
I
one of my
bet.
best
Yeah,
experience I ever had still, yeah.
that's amazing. So you're pretty used to surprising yourself and others when you get into a certain discipline, a triathlon, it sounds like.
Yeah, I mean, maybe for me it's good to like have no pressure on me and don't know actually what I can do. So maybe I should just keep this mindset for the next year. So it probably helps, yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. And so was the Olympics when you started doing triathlon, was that like always kind of what you thought you would do? Like I saw that obviously being in Klagenfurt, you had exposure to the Ironman there when you were young. Was that always something that you'd kind of looked at and the Olympics was just kind of where you were going at the time?
Mm, I always like, always loved sport and I was, of course, dreaming about the Olympics. But what really the moment was, I remember it was in 24, I was playing tennis, and because I looked for a different sport because I couldn't really swim anymore, but my tennis was
Okay.
very bad. So at this time I was on the tennis court and there was the Olympics on the TV, and I say, okay, I won't finish my tennis lesson. I go in and watch Kaden finish she got first. I mean, she got Olympic champion
Yeah, yeah.
for Austria.
Yeah.
So there was like, oh wow, I want to do that. So I don't know. From that on, I always say, yeah, I really want to be at the Olympics again. And yeah, I followed this dream. I didn't know in which sport I want to do it, but I really
Yeah.
wanted, yeah, to be there.
What? Like you have a lot more sporting talent than I think I realized. You still play tennis at all?
Oh no, I'm not talented at all in tennis. So I just try to something to find, but everything don't give me a ball. Like I'm in all ball games, have no talent at all. Yeah, but I tried
That's great.
winter triathlon. I did duathlon, so I tried all the things. Yeah.
That's great. And was that tell us a little bit about the experience? I mean, obviously in 3 Olympics, but was it over 12 years that you did it? Your first one was in
Yeah, it was
2000.
over 12 years. Yeah,
Yeah, that's
12.
crazy.
Yeah. Then 16, I made the qualifying, but I injured myself just a week before the race. And I have to
Oh,
say,
no way.
probably this was the Olympics with my highest expectations. And then it was 2021 Tokyo and 2024 in Paris. Yeah.
That's wild. That's wild. Is it how different is it racing like there's we talk, the sport obviously Kona is what everybody's looking for and there's like a lot of pressure on that race and people have anxiety going in because there's so much pressure and whether or not you can perform on one day, you only have it once a year, but you were preparing for something that was once for every 4 years. Like the pressure that must occur, especially like when you're talking like you got injured a week out and then it's like your last 4 years is kind of, you know, washed up.
Yeah, exactly. This is how it felt like for me. Like I was very disappointed. I didn't even watch the race on TV because how
Yeah.
you say, like I prepare 4 years just for this race, and I gave everything, and then this happens. So I knew it's another 4 years. In this time, it was in 5 years because of COVID. It
Right.
was a year later,
Yeah.
and I don't know how it kept me motivated, but all the people around somehow, yeah. helped me. So maybe sometimes people ask me why you did so many Olympics. You just have changed earlier to the long distance. But I think I'm happy how I did it, and I made a lot of different experience. So yeah.
Yeah, that's great. And of course, they say that now, after a year of doing, as
Yeah.
well as you did in long course racing, right?
Yeah.
But what made you? Why was last year, or I guess 2024, the end of 2024? Why was that the right time for you to do Ironman and to get into longer course racing?
um, yeah, I have a very, very disappointing like Paris Olympics. And after that, I was like, I'm not sure if I want to like keep going because my swim was just not good enough to be in front there.
Yeah,
But I invested so much time. So I was saying, probably I should just find something what gives me more joy again. And yeah, then I just did like 70.3 Cozumel and I won that race. It was like, no, first I did actually after Olympics Paris Sea. And I was not a good experience because I didn't even train 1 week because I make full off season after the Olympics. But then it was
yeah,
Cozumel and I liked it. And um, I think what really motivated me, just a different experience. And I mean, this long course, I can focus more on myself doing the race and not focus on all the other people. And yeah, this is what I really enjoy now.
yeah. That's great. I mean, and I've said this to you before, and I've said it on broadcast a few times. Like, it's so clear that you're having so much fun out there. Like, you're just having a blast. How important is it for you to be like enjoying it? I mean, obviously there's times where it's probably doesn't feel that fun, but
Yeah,
you always have a smile on your face.
yeah. Yeah, of course I have some downs as well during the race where I say, oh no, what I'm doing here, it's so hard. And I prefer just to watch the race. But yeah, I think I also like this in training. I really enjoy also the training. And for me, I also need to have a lot of fun during training. And
Yeah.
I just try to translate this into the racing. And yeah, like I need to say Kona was the only race last year where I was nervous before the race and I was like, oh no, like it's getting serious.
Yeah.
And but all the other races last year, I just went to start line and had so much fun. Yeah.
Yeah, it certainly seemed like it. And obviously those results, showed that preparation and going in there with that attitude paid off. Cause I think, it's, and I think that's one thing where people were saying that, oh, maybe you should have started racing long course earlier. It's like the amount of racing that you did over that period of time. You have so many repetitions of theoretically nerves before a race and like all those things that you just kind of get used to. It's just another day at the office, right? So like you can go into a high pressure situation and be like, okay, I'm just going to do the thing like that allows me to have fun, and what I can get out of myself is what I can get out of myself, and like whatever happens, right?
Yeah, exactly. Like this is like my mindset. And I think I just checked up. I have 150 starts, like ITU starts in my whole
Crazy.
career. So I made enough
Crazy.
of experience, this pre-race nurse experience. And yeah, there was so much more behind in short course. You have the federation and the points and a lot of things. And right now, yeah, it's just a race for myself. And if I perform, I mean, of course, I want to perform to make my sponsors and everyone happy, but it's still racing for myself, and which gives me more like this just more relaxed feeling before start. Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm guessing that the 3 week build or 3 weeks of training that you said in your first Ironman in Cozumel kind of helped with that like low pressure vibes. You're like, whatever, man, I'm just go give it a shot. Let's see what happens, right?
Yeah, like I remember like my family, everyone hated my idea. Like I couldn't even find someone who goes with me to support me because I always say, no, Lisa, we don't like this idea. But I say, please, you just go with me there. You don't even have to watch it, like stay away, like but finally my mom came with me. And yeah, what what keep me like motivated. And I was like, I do this for so long, and I have so many miles on the bike already. Even I didn't do my TT bike so much, but I have so many trainings hours in my body. So why cannot do an Ironman? I mean, maybe, of course, I didn't not do it on like really high intensity, but I can do it. I was everyone telling like, no worries, I will finish this.
That's great. I love
Yeah.
that you had to beg your family to have somebody come support you at Cozumel. Oh, it's so hard to go to
Yeah.
Cozumel, right?
Yeah. It's not the easiest way now from home. Yeah. But
That's
I always love it, the
awesome.
ferry, and it gives me all these Cozumel vibes.
Performance runs on fuel, and carbohydrates power endurance, in training and on race day. Fueling well isn't just about racing, it's how you train harder, recover better, and build the adaptations that lead to stronger performance when it counts. Maurten's patented hydrogel technology delivers the carbohydrates you need while staying easy on the stomach, carrying fuel through the stomach to where it's absorbed, helping reduce GI issues often caused by traditional sports fuels. And it's available on course at all global Ironman and Ironman 70.3 races. That's great. So over that distance, well, actually first, I think that's one thing that people underestimate. And I think it's maybe more an older thought, and why people think that, transitioning from short course racing to Ironman, doing a 3-week build doesn't make any sense. But I think people underestimate, like, you're obviously riding a bunch of miles. And I think mostly there's an underestimation of the amount of like running and long runs that you do to be at that level as a short course athlete. Like, you're doing, I imagine you were doing 2-hour, like close to 2-hour long runs at times in your normal preparation for short course racing, right?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, training hour wise, it was more or less the same. I also trained my 30 hours, and it was just a little different. Actually, I never did 2-hour runs because I was so many time injured. And in my
Okay.
last years before I started Ironman, this was the most concern about people. Say, Lisa, your average case is 20 Ks per week in the last 2 years,
Oh,
because
wow.
I really didn't run much. But I was cycling more. I was cycling a lot. I think it has just helped me to go like somehow fresh on the run, because I was more used to the cycling. And when I started the Ironman thing, I was like also concerned that, okay, I do an Ironman, I'm gonna be injured again for 4 months and then do an Ironman again. But I maybe the less intensity helped me to not get injured, maybe, yeah.
Right. So what were your first impressions over the distance? Like, was there anything that surprised you that was easier than you thought, or harder than you thought, or was it more fun than you expected? What surprised you your first go at Ironman?
What surprised me the most is because, of course, I was always watching since I'm young the Ironman at home in Austria, and I was like, "Wow, that's a long day. That
Yeah.
must be crazy." But actually, when I'm racing on my own, it's just go so fast. Like, it don't feels like I'm 9 hours or 8.5 hours on the way. It's like didn't feel much longer for me than a half distance, because if you focus on all your nutrition and you have so much things to do, it just fly by if you have, I think, an okay day. So this was the most surprised with. And yeah, I think this was the main part.
Awesome. And do you think, as far as like adjusting to the long course racing and the distance, did it feel like there was more of a challenge physically for that distance, or like mentally or emotionally going over that? Obviously you're out there so much longer, and obviously in Olympic distance racing you're around a lot of people most of the time, where in Ironman racing you're like kind of by yourself. And I've noticed you in races, you're like waving volunteers on the side of the road. Like, you seem to be a very social person. So like, was that challenging for you? Just that, like, the solitude over the distance?
Yeah, like I'm used to race with a lot of people in groups and this, and I think this also still my race like mind, or that when I come out from the water, I always try to get somewhere, like I think to be completely on my own, don't see anyone in front or behind, it's still very hard for me. So I'm always happy to have people around doing racing, or I try to just what do you say, like look for people standing on the sideline, or just I need some entertainment. Of course, I need some people out there. I remember like this year in Kona. I mean, this was mentally my hardest race when I ran like on the highway up there. I was like, there was no one, and if I look straight, like I couldn't see anyone. So when Hannah Berry, she was running then for a long time behind me, but everyone say don't look behind. But as soon as she passed me, it helped me a little bit to have someone in front again. But that was for sure a hard time for me to have no one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just so different. And have you like, is there any way for you to train for that at all, or mentally prepare for that? Or, I mean, and obviously Kona is the toughest example, like, cause when you're out there, there's nobody out there in sections of that run course, and it's brutal. You just, all you see is the pavement and the little like sun waves on the horizon. It's brutal.
Yeah. Exactly. I mean, I'm used to train a lot on my own. So I do a lot of TT riding on my own. So I think this for sure helps to not always have someone around me or follow someone. I mean, now here it's nice because we have so many, and I'm never alone on this core TT road. So you always meet someone. But no, I think I'm used to do a lot on my own. All my long runs last year, I did on my own, self-supported. I didn't have anyone with me. So, but I wanted it because I knew it can be hard also out there in an Ironman, but you'd be alone.
Yeah, I do love it though. You remind me a little bit of Natasha Bodman in the kind of your attitude. I don't know if you know too much about her, but she was always smiling, always waving at people, and you can tell that you do that because you're a happy person and you like other people, but it's also a distraction when you're in pain. Like you give a little energy and you get energy at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this like gives me energy, the smiling and to be happy, because I think even if hurting, I think it won't help me to show everyone I'm hurting, So, no, I think it just helped me to just stay there and keep my pressure on my pedals and enjoy that I can do that. Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's clearly working for you. So, does it feel, because it's such a big difference from the huge amount of time you had focusing on Olympic distance racing, and a lot of times you'll see people that will do an Olympic cycle, especially if they've done as many as you. Not many have. You see them like put their toe in the water and try out different racing, and it's kind of on their way out of retire. Like they're like, okay, I'll do 1 or 2 more years in the sport and I'll just try this for a little bit. But it feels like to me, like this feels like a second career for you. Does it feel like a second career in triathlon, moving to long course racing?
Yeah, it really does, because it was for me not the easy decision, because everyone thinks like, I did the long distance, but actually to make the decision for myself to just like really change to long course racing. I had some tears, so it wasn't easy to just leave everything behind for what I was working for the last 13 years. But I knew if I want to take this long course racing serious, I have to focus just on that and just leave short course racing behind.
Yeah, and I mean, could you have ever imagined, and in your head, and it's hard because athletes, like, you don't envision like specific results per se, but would you ever imagine that a year in you would have been, no worse than the podium in all of your races except for Kona, where you were 5th, which for me I think is better than a podium in a normal Ironman, and 3rd place in the Ironman Pro Series, which is another $85,000. Like, I can imagine that it's gone much better than you ever expected it could have gone.
Yes, I mean, for sure. I mean, I didn't expect it like this, because, I mean, how I say, like, I didn't really know when I started last season what I'm gonna do. If I do like the T100 or Pro Series or just maybe 70.3s, I have no idea. And so And then it was just race to race. And I was like, I mean, I'm also a little scared of this year because, I mean, last year went so well. And that, I don't know, I hope this don't like just ends. But I don't really want to think about that. But no, like I'm still like can't believe it when I see there like the rankings and the prize money and whatever. Like for me, this is still unbelievable what I did last year, and just people need to remind me like, you know that I did very great last year. Yeah.
No, it was amazing, and yeah, I think if you keep your approach and kind of having fun, like the pressure will take care of itself. You're going to continue to get better, and we see nothing but great things coming from you, especially because I feel like the thing that stands out to me the most from your season in 2025, besides the Kona performance, I think was, for a debut, as good as, well, I'd say as good as it can get, but Solveig, obviously, it was her debut as well, and she did pretty good out there. But top five is incredible. But for me, what stood out is that you had all these results, podium finishes, wins over race courses that were vastly different, right? Like you couldn't have a different course or more different courses than Cozumel and Lake Placid, and then Kona, right? Like it seems like, regardless of what the course is or the tactics, the race tactics and kind of how a race develops, you always seem to have consistency over that distance. And obviously it's based on your experience in the sport.
Yeah, like I was very surprised, especially with Lake Placid, because in the morning when it was raining and cold, because I'm known to just race when the sun is out and it's warm, and a lot of people were texting and they say, Lisa, all good, are you racing, because of the weather? And luckily I didn't have my phone with me, I just saw it afterwards. I mean, all my friends or my family, my mom, like they almost like say, okay, oh no, that's gonna be a wild day for her. But I didn't even think on it. I didn't care the rain. I didn't care it was cold. I didn't care it was just with the swim skin, because I hate cold water, because it was just right on the limit to be wetsuit or not. And I don't know what I changed in my mind, because I remember in short course I was like very worried about the cold all the time, but I had zero worries. So, and it doesn't matter which course it was. Especially also with Selam Sea, I didn't prepare for any hills last year. I was just riding flat because I knew I have to like work on my TT position. And then I was racing Selam Sea, and then I had to climb like a 40-minute hill. And even that, so I think it also, this is the kind what surprised me. And I mean, it was my 5th place in Kona. I'm still very happy because it was my 4th Ironman in not even a year. So it's a lot to my body, and that it could still do that performance. I mean, I was happy.
No, that's unreal. And I love that you explained kind of more going into Lake Placid, and there wasn't kind of conditions that were suited for you, and it set you up for maybe not being positive. But what I noticed the most out of that race, and I was fortunate enough to call that race, was you were having so much fun, and your attitude, you could tell, like you were in the lead, you got a penalty, and like a minute coming out of the penalty box, you're like smiling and waving at spectators on the side of the road. You could tell, like, as soon as you left the penalty box, you like forgot that happened, and you're like, okay, we're moving forward. Whatever is going to happen in front of us is going to happen for us. And like an athlete that obviously is as talented as you, combined with that kind of race attitude, like I just know that no matter how hard it gets, you're always trying to find a way to make it positive, right? And that's why, like, I think I had not expectations, but I had hope that you would have a race similar to what you did in Kona, because again, when it gets hard, it seems like you're always going to try to find a way to be positive.
Yeah, exactly. Like with what happened in Lake Placid, I mean, I got the penalty and I was like, okay, of course, in the first second I was angry or whatever, but I was like, okay, what should I do? Just be more mad about it and like But I say, no, I keep going and the day is not over. I'm in the lead. It's 3 minutes, from 8.5 hours. So, yeah, like I still enjoyed the race. Like a lot of people like asking me, yeah, what did you do? And was the penalty fair or not? I see in this moment, I didn't spend any energy like thinking of that. And also after the race, I was like, okay, race is over. I can't change it. So they say, oh, what did haven't happened? Would you win? And I say, you know, I don't know. I got second and I was very happy with my second place. So, and I mean, to beat Solveig, I mean, she got later world champion. I mean, that's a different thing. Yeah, and then with Kona, I mean, my swim was not what I expected. I mean, I didn't hope for a 6 minute like being behind, but even when I came here out from the water, I saw all like the big names next to me, and I was like, okay, race is not over. Like I'm still in the middle in the race, and I just have to change my race plan. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, and it's clear that you're always kind of looking forward and doing that. And again, like that, what happened in Placid, to your point, and I've seen it many times, another athlete that maybe doesn't have as much experience or the attitude that you have would let that 3-minute penalty completely derail their race. And the whole rest of the race, all they're thinking about is how important that is. And for you to be like, dude, it's 3 minutes. Like, it's a long race, right? Like, yes, it's going to change things, but it's up to you as to whether or not you decide to let that ruin your race or not. And you clearly did not let that really affect your race at all.
Yeah, no, I didn't let, because I mean, I had a race before, like in Portugal, I got once in a 70.3, a 5-minute penalty. It was the years before when the penalty was a little bit longer. And there actually, I spent a lot of time and I said, no, don't do this again. Like from feeling great to feeling very bad in like a second because of like a blue, yellow card. I mean, should not change how you feel.
Yeah. And yeah, so similarly in Kona, I want to talk about kind of what you learned in your debut race there. And I imagine some of it is like you never know what's going to happen, right? Like with the athletes that were ahead of you, obviously a lot changed on the marathon there. I imagine at some point you're like, wait, I'm in fifth place at the World Championship, and like you just got to keep ticking because you never know what the race is gonna give you.
Yeah, like this I also tried before I went into the race. Like everything can happen, Lisa, and because my goal was to get in the top 5, but then I heard, okay, Lucy and Taylor have a big lead, and then Solveig is like in front, and this. I mean, I could give up to just finish top 5, but no, like I was thinking, okay, yeah, a lot can happen. And when I was in Energy Lab and saw Lucy there, I was like, oh wow, I didn't expect it that. And then I was 6th. I mean, in this point I was 5th, but then Hannah passed me again, and I was 6th. And still there, like I didn't give up to get this 5th place. Yeah.
And so what do you think besides that? But it seems like you kind of knew that going into the race to a certain extent. What do you think were the biggest takeaways that you learned for Kona to go back this year and try to improve on that 5th place performance?
Yeah, I think Kona is a very special race that you really have to stick to your plan. And I mean, especially I think this year with the change of the 20 meter, it for sure changed something on the bike that you just have to do your race, because the marathon was the longest marathon I ever done in Kona, for the feeling, like it felt forever. So if you go there with fresher legs, can help a lot. Yeah.
That's great. And so what are your goals? What do you think you're capable of? And obviously you've shown, like, you went with a goal, sounds like, for a top 5 in Kona, you achieved that. What are your goals now moving forward, now that you've got a little more experience and over the distance, but specifically in Kona?
Yeah, I mean, goal is the podium. And I mean, it's hard to say to win Kona, because I think I'm very new on this distance still. and there's still a lot of experience I need. But I mean, my goal is for sure this year to get on this podium. I mean, that would be a very, very, very great day for me. Or if I even continue my top five, I mean, you never know what the others did this year or how they're gonna perform. But yeah, if I can continue a podium, I'm really working towards, and I want to get more prepared to Kona than I got this year. Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say you got a pretty good shot. And yeah, as you said, if you just keep it moving, like that's one race. Ironman is always the same, you know, depending, kind of doesn't depend on the course. Like you never know what's going to happen, especially with how you ladies are racing now, like such a high level. And, you know, we saw it in Kona with Lucy and Taylor. Like you literally have no idea until the finish line what the result's going to be.
Yeah, exactly. You never know. Like, and this is what I also love on Ironman racing, because it's so long and it doesn't matter if it's Kona or another Ironman. Like, everything can happen from feeling great to like walking or can't continue can happen so fast.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so you're preparing for Texas here in a little bit. It's your first race of the season. Are you going back, I imagine, for obviously Kona, but for the Pro Series as well? Is that a focus this year?
Yeah, like my main focus is Kona this year, but I want to do the Pro Series. But the goal is like, I mean, to get as fit as possible to Kona and not like have my peak in the middle of the year. I had a very, very long off season, took it very easy for like many weeks.
Good.
And I just started with like workouts or like intensity, like since I'm here 3 weeks ago. Before that, I just did basic work, went to with friends to Lanzarote for a camp. It was more like a holiday. Then I went with my road bike to Gran Canaria just to climb some hills for fun. So I just needed this a little bit for myself before I start a long season again. So actually, I have no idea where I am at the moment. And I mean, the field is so strong now in Texas that I will see it in 3 weeks where I am. Yeah.
Yeah, I will say though, I feel like Texas and from your success in Cozumel, like they're different courses, but they're pretty similar as far as like the output, the humidity, mostly flat courses, loop courses. Like to me, it seems like with your successes in Cozumel, it should transfer over pretty well into Texas.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I just compared times from 2000, from 24 to 25. And I was like, wow, that's crazy. I improved 17 minutes on the same course, and people say it was similar conditions. So, I mean, that's impressive what can happen in a year. And I did so much TT riding, and yeah, you can compare like Cozumel with Texas. It's just for 4.5 hours in TT position. And if you can hold that, I think you can be very fast on these courses.
Yeah, well, I expect to see good things out of you in a few weeks in Texas, and you've never been afraid of mixing it up with the best in the sport, and they're certainly going to be there. But before I let you go, we're going to do some rapid fire questions. So I'm just going to ask you some quick questions. You can't think too much about it. Just a couple words. What comes to your mind first, and we'll get through it. Sound good?
Yeah.
Short course or long course?
Long course.
Hardest adjustment moving to Ironman?
The nutrition.
Okay. Favorite discipline?
Bike.
Least favorite session?
Via to max.
Dude, I'm right there with you. It's the worst, the absolute worst. Race you dreamed about as a kid?
The Olympics.
Awesome. Role model in sport?
It was. I have many actually. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, one word to describe Kona.
Hot and humid.
Favorite athlete to race with or against?
Solvay.
I had a feeling. I'll let you expand on that one. Why?
I mean, it happened. I mean, we were racing so much together in short course, and we made the same move in the right time, like really at the same time. And we are here again, like seeing each other on the swim and on the bike again, and we both enjoyed so much. And she gives me a lot of energy because I can see how much she's enjoying racing as well. Yeah.
That's great. And you can expand on this one too. What excites you most about long course distance racing, and what still motivates you to continue to move forward?
Um, it just I say as long it gives me fun and joy. This is what motivates me to keep me forward. Yeah, like I think why I should change something when I just do what I love the most, and it's not just my my job. It's really what I love to do. Yeah.
Oh, there you go. That's great. And when you love what you do, you tend to do pretty well at it.
Yeah. I hope so. Yeah.
That's great. Well, Lisa, thanks so much for taking time out of your schedule, your training schedule down there in Tucson to sit down and chat with us. And yeah, can't wait to see you race off the front in Texas in a few weeks.
Thank you.
Awesome stuff from Lisa. No wonder so many people want to root for her whenever she is at a start line. She has such great energy, such positive energy, and really, like, I cannot think of a more successful debut Ironman year than what Lisa had. She really was just phenomenal, and that transition from short course racing to long course seemed pretty easy for her. So appreciate her coming on. And to stay across the latest in Ironman and Ironman Pro Series news, follow at Ironman Tri on Instagram and check out proseries.ironman.com for standings, athlete bios, episodes of A Fighting Chance, replays of all the races, and more. And of course, I also want to thank our presenting sponsor, Maurten, the official sports performance nutrition partner of the Ironman Global Series. Not only do they fuel Ironman athletes on course, they fuel us here on the Ironman Insider. If you like this conversation, please like, share, and subscribe wherever you listen to this podcast. And if you're on the trainer, you can watch the podcast on the Ironman Triathlon YouTube channel. Thanks so much for joining us on the Ironman Insider Podcast presented by Maurten. Be sure to keep an eye on this space for more great conversations as the season. Dang it. Thanks so much for joining us on the Ironman Insider